I don't know. Was it there's a certain sound from people who are making music for wages? What was that?
That sounded very good.
It was very deep. You were getting
I was
deep
getting deep, wasn't it?
at the time.
Have to be careful of that.
Making music for wages.
I think it was to do with session players,
Yeah.
people who are in bands, and then those who are hired hands. And it's just people play differently when they don't have a stake in what's happening musically, and that's a big difference between U2 and most bands. Is that everybody has a stake. There's a partnership on every level. So when we make a record, or when we do an album, or when we do staging, when we tour, all those things, we all have a stake in it, and nobody wields an axe. You know, the band make decisions as a band, and sometimes the loudest voice, wins out.
And sometimes the most intelligent.
And sometimes the most intelligent as well. But that's what makes a band. Apart from the obvious, which is writing great songs.
How do you keep that passion though? I mean, after 32 years, you have still got that passion to go into the studio and make something really fantastic.
I think listening to new music, listening to new bands that come along, and wanting to, being jealous of it and wanting to have a bit of that. I mean, every time I listen to music, I'm excited by it. So it's just a relationship that we have with music.
Have to stop, because they won't be able to broadcast this.
How's the sound?
If you can hear it, you won't be able to broadcast it. Because
that is not the sound check. And by the way, he sounds good, this geezer.
It does sound a little bit like the donkeys I
I
heard
didn't
up.
like the one this morning at 5. The one yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah.
The one this morning was not as good. He went on longer this morning as well. You like this morning?
bar 24 onwards.
Yeah.
Is this the noon?
Yeah. Sorry, I did tend to move around. Okay, I'll try not to move. Can't promise I won't move. No. So who went out last night?
Larry.
Well, I went out to dinner.
Yeah.
Who had a big night last
That's not really
night?
going out. That's just.
We went out. We weren't in out though.
That's true. That's not going out.
No, it wasn't going out. Like, it wasn't painting the town.
Oh, it wasn't. I thought you had a really big one.
No. It's a couple of birthdays.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big.
It was one of the bigger of the small nights.
Those are generally quite good.
Or is it one of the smaller of the big nights? Oh.
I think it's one of the smaller, the medium, big nights.
Right.
About the sounds.
Oh, that's right. Continuity expert.
Oh, I didn't pick that up. Thank you.
Okay, makeup, quick.
It doesn't
Got that.
matter. I mean, if you really want them, you can have them. It's not a big deal.
Quite a lot of sound going
Quick.
on.
You're the only one. Everyone else has got their shades on, and you're the odd one out.
I like that way. I feel special.
Okay.
You are special.
This happens again at 4 o'clock.
All right.
We need a religious consultant who can tell us when we're allowed to film. Is what we need.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. You're giving me fear factor of fatwa.
You could
We
eat
don't
you
want a
out
fat
anyway.
one.
Did you say fatwa?
Fatwa, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's against rules to record.
Oh, God.
Oh,
really?
it's really major, yeah. We had to down tools every day when the call to prayer was on.
Can we talk about that once we're allowed? Because I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Within your 5 minute time.
Oh, shit. Give me 10 minutes, Fran.
Okay, you running away off? Come and speak.
I think there might just be a few enthusiastic stragglers. It's been way over 3 minutes. Okay, cool. All right. So,
Okay.
yeah, we've just been interrupted by the call to prayer because we're not allowed to film during that.
That's right.
And that affected your recording of your album?
Yeah, every day we would down tools during the call to prayer out of respect. And also because we knew that if we recorded it in any way that we wouldn't be able to release the recording. In fact, the reason we know that is because Brian Eno, our producer, had inadvertently done that with his album My Life in the Bush of Ghosts. And he had recorded something, didn't know quite what it was, but liked the sound of it. It turned out to be from Tunisia, a call to prayer from Tunisia. And the minute the album hit the streets, he got letters from people saying this has to be withdrawn. They had to actually bin hundreds of thousands of CDs and take the Call to Prayer off the recording and re-release.
But it didn't
They
go
take
as far
their
as that
religion
one.
very seriously over here, not like the Irish.
Cha-ching. Oh my god. All right. Okay. So, should we talk about your charity work then, Bono, just briefly? I mean, if you're
Briefly?
okay with that. I mean, in recent years.
We don't
We'll
do
just-
briefs. I don't-
We'll just have a little snooze here, myself and Larry.
Well, if it's okay with
No,
you to
we're
go
joking.
over 5 minutes, it's okay.
Succinctness is not a national characteristic of the Irish. But please, I'm at your service.
I mean, Bono, in recent years, I guess your charity work has had as much attention as the band, and I just wondered, have you ever felt that it has overshadowed the band, or has it ever caused any friction within the band?
Yeah, it causes friction within the band, but everything does. But I think the thing about my activism is that I think it's an expression of where the bands have always been at. And from our very earliest incarnations, we've always been campaigning for, you know, Amnesty International, Greenpeace, and doing stunts. And it was just, you know, we grew up listening to The Clash. They were like, you know, public service announcement with guitars. And, you know, when I was a kid, I heard about the Sandinistas from listening to The Clash. You know, I heard about the wars in Central America, and they opened my mind on so many things. And it's just I think it's part of who we are as a band. I can get a little annoying about it. I accept that the first duty of a rock and roll band is not to be dull. But I don't think it is dull to be part of a movement or a generation that doesn't think it's cool that kids are dying for no reason. And if you watch them, as I have, dying, and you look at the look in their eyes, or their mother's eyes or something, and you know that we can, with just small resources, utterly transform communities. You know, it's hard not to get excited about it, but the band have given me the license, our audience in particular have given me the license. When politicians don't, you know, meeting me is not one, they're actually meeting, it's our audience they're afraid of. It's all the votes. So